What's up YouTube? Today I'm going to be making a video on what makes Bitcoin so valuable in my opinion. Now to answer that question, first I got to take you back in history a little bit. So once upon a time, there were people who would keep your gold safe for a small fee. You got some gold, you don't want to worry about your house getting broke into, getting it stolen or anything, so you just pay this guy a small fee and he keeps your gold safe in his vault. Eventually these people realized that hey, not everyone's going to take their money out at one time. So we can just lend some of these people's money out. Say they have 1,000 gold bars, and they're like, there's no way half of these people are going to come redeem their money in one day. Let's just lend out half of it, you know? And thus fractional reserve banking is born. So fast forward to the beginning of banking in the United States, and people started to realize that these banks that were popping up couldn't always give everyone their money back. Eventually people realized that fiat money is worthless. So what do people do? They start just not accepting fiat. You know, if you have a business and you can accept gold, or you can accept this worthless piece of paper that just keeps getting more printed every year, year after year, they don't want to take that worthless fiat currency. So you might be asking, why do people accept dollars today? Well, the government literally made it illegal to not accept US tender, US fiat money. So now if you don't accept it, you go to jail. So people just kept their gold, hidden away in their closet or something, and they just spent their fiat money on taxes and stuff. Eventually, after forcing people to accept fiat money for so long, we now live in a day where people don't remember what it was like to actually have prosperity and a money supply that doesn't get constantly devalued. So, fast forward to 1933, and the government literally makes an executive order saying you have to give any gold you have to the government. They'd take your actual valuable currency, valuable metals that'll hold its value, and just give you back a worthless piece of paper. And that didn't last too long. Eventually they let people, start buying gold back. They didn't just trade back people's gold that that's unconstitutional, so that they illegally stole. Or I guess legally stole, because they made a law about it. Either way, fast forward again to 1971, and they completely take the dollar off the gold standard. This is when things started getting a lot worse for your average American. Back in the day, you could have a family and just one person in the house working and actually be able to afford it. Now you'd be lucky to afford a house by yourself, without a family, or even with dual income. At this point, the dollar is literally worth nothing and not even tied to anything of value. Now, I missed out on probably a lot of details. I could do a whole nother video about how evil the Federal Reserve is, but I think that's enough history to get my point across. I think basically the only reason Bitcoin has any value is that governments devalue their own currency around the world. It's literally coded into Bitcoin and guaranteed that there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. No one could devalue it, even if they wanted to. With the government, you have to trust your elected officials, and I think we all know that's not really a good idea. With Bitcoin, you just gotta trust, it's coded into it. Like I said, you can't make more than 21 million Bitcoins if you wanted to. Bitcoin is deflationary, while the US dollar just keeps getting more and more printed every year, making it less and less valuable, making the average person more and more screwed. I think if our currency was actually something real, tangible, and valuable, Bitcoin would be basically worthless. When I buy Bitcoin, I'm basically just making a bet that the government's going to keep printing more money. And not even just the United States government, governments all around the world. They inflate the money to make their debt easier to pay off, while the price of goods go up for your average person. I think if money was actually based on something, and the government couldn't just print it and devalue it whenever they felt like it, then Bitcoin would be worthless. But that's not the case. Have you ever heard the saying, cash is trash? Fiat money is worthless. They're just going to print more of it. You need to get assets. And Bitcoin is coded, so it's literally impossible to screw you over. It's impossible to just print a bunch of it, so your Bitcoin is worthless. And at this point, it's not even just financial corruption or stuff they can just brush off and be like, oh, that was an accident. We didn't know we were accidentally screwing over our people. Just look at the Epstein stuff. The people that are really in charge don't care about anything. They don't have morals. They're just going to keep screwing you until there's nothing left to screw you out of. So yeah, that's why I think Bitcoin is valuable, because the government literally just keeps screwing us. The big banks keep screwing us. And this is something that's guaranteed. You can go see it in the code if you know about code, or, you know, ask someone who does know about code. And they can tell you, and you can see for yourself, that Bitcoin is actually deflationary. You can also see that it's all verified, and no one can take it away from you. Like the government did with gold in 1933. Now, do y'all agree? Disagree? Did I miss anything? Get anything wrong? Let me know in the comments. Love to talk about it with everyone. This has been Square Lawyer, and I'll see y'all in the next video.